Welcome to today's explainer. Look, picture this. Your alarm goes off. You've supposedly slept a full 8 hours, right? But you wake up feeling this deep, heavy, just completely unexplainable exhaustion. You drag yourself out of bed, chug a massive cup of coffee, maybe two, and yet that underlying mental fog and physical drain, it never really goes away. Sound familiar? Well, today we are exploring the mystery of that exact type of chronic human exhaustion. We're going to reveal how, according to some truly fascinating new research, we might actually be able to neutralize the constant draining barrage of modern electromagnetic noise. How? Literally just by looking at the Earth's fundamental pulse. Get ready, because we are unpacking the biological and physical mechanics behind actually aligning your mind and your body with the planet itself. The source material we're diving into today poses a pretty radical, paradigm-shifting solution to all this chronic fatigue. The core message is essentially this: stop fighting your biological clock and start syncing it with the Earth's 7.83 Hertz frequency for ultimate neural stability. It goes on to say we need to learn how to bridge this gap to restore deep, primal balance to our exhausted nervous systems today. If you feel like you're operating with a totally fried nervous system, where your brain feels scattered, your anxiety is just constantly humming at a low vibration, and true deep relaxation feels downright impossible, this research directly validates exactly what you're experiencing. We're exploring what the text calls the ultimate biohack solution. We're talking about the precise biological calibration needed to bridge the gap between human health and planetary resonance. The goal here is profound, but it's actually really simple: learning how to restore that deep, primal balance to your nervous system starting right now. To figure out how to actually fix this, we first have to understand the core conflict we're facing every single day. Basically, we are caught in this constant tug of war between two radically different states. On one side, we have modern electromagnetic noise. Think about the invisible static that is constantly surrounding us right this very second. The overlapping frequencies of Wi-Fi routers, 5G cell towers, Bluetooth devices, and the relentless glare of blue light from our screens. It's a chaotic environment, and it keeps our cells in a state of low-grade stress almost 24/7. Now, on the flip side, we have grounded primal equilibrium. This is that deep, restorative, biological balance we desperately crave, right? It's the state our ancient ancestors lived in naturally, where nervous systems aren't just constantly firing on high alert. The research we're looking at suggests that by tapping into specific environmental frequencies, we can actually neutralize that modern noise and literally step back into that primal calm. Now, let's just take a breath here and focus on the absolute core of this entire phenomenon: 7.83. 7.83 hertz. Now, this isn't just some random decimal pulled out of thin air, okay? According to the data, this is the fundamental pulse of the Earth. But where does it actually come from? Well, right now, at this exact moment, there are thousands of lightning strikes hitting the Earth every single second across the globe. These massive bursts of energy get trapped between the surface of the planet and the inner edge of the ionosphere, way high up above us, and they create this continuous, resonating electromagnetic hum. This specific, ultra-low frequency is the grounded anchor we absolutely need in order to reset all that chaotic modern noise. It's literally the master key to the biological transformation we're talking about today. So this specific grounded frequency actually has a scientific name. It's called the Schumann Resonance, and it's defined as the Earth's fundamental primary resonance occurring precisely at 7.83 hertz. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is as the planet's heartbeat. Imagine a room full of grandfather clocks. Eventually, all those swinging pendulums are going to synchronize to the rhythm of the largest, most powerful clock in the room. It's just physics. In the exact same way, our source explains that to achieve ultimate neural stability, we need to calibrate our own internal biological rhythms to this exact planetary pulse. We're kind of like complex tuning forks that have been knocked completely out of pitch by modern technology, and we desperately need to strike ourselves against the master tuning fork of the Earth to find our harmony again. But, this brings us to a massive, really fascinating biological mystery. I mean, it's one thing to say the Earth emits a frequency generated by global lightning storms. Sure, we can measure that with scientific instruments. But how in the world does a human body, made of flesh, blood, and bone, actually communicate with a giant global electromagnetic wave? How do our human circadian rhythms possibly bridge that massive gap and physically interact with this abstract planetary resonance? The idea that we can sync our biology to a planetary frequency sounds a bit like science fiction, doesn't it? Well, it does, unless there is a physical, anatomical mechanism inside of us specifically designed to actually receive that exact signal. And that brings us to the crucial point. the absolute wow moment in this research. It's found right at the microscopic cellular level inside of you. We aren't just passively sitting on the earth hoping for the best here. The source details that we literally have physical, natural antennae built directly into our biology. Specifically, magnetite crystals located right in the human brain. Think about how birds or sea turtles or whales are able to perfectly navigate across thousands of miles of featureless ocean without ever getting lost. They use microscopic magnetite in their brains to read the Earth's magnetic fields. Well, guess what? It turns out we have this exact same hardware. Millions of these tiny magnetic crystals are in our brains, naturally designed to act as receivers for ultra-low frequency signals. Our biology is physically, anatomically equipped to pick up the Schumann resonance. How wild is that? By picking up that signal through those tiny magnetite crystals, we begin this profound process of calibrating our internal oscillators for precise biological synchronization. Now, what do we actually mean by internal oscillators? We're talking about your brainwaves, the rhythmic electrical firing of your neurons, and the pulsing energy cycles of your individual cells. When you introduce your body to the Earth's 7.83 Hz pulse, it's exactly like a musician tuning their instrument to a master pitch pipe. Suddenly, the whole orchestra stops playing random, chaotic notes and begins to play in perfect harmony. By mirroring the Earth's primary resonance, we are mapping the exact biological sync required to stabilize neural signaling. We finally stop fighting our own erratic biological clock, and instead we just effortlessly tune it to the master clock of the planet. When your internal antenna successfully lock into that planetary pulse, the cascading physiological benefits are just incredible. We see a compounding effect of deep healing. First off, your sleep architecture completely transforms. You aren't just lying in bed unconscious. The actual structural stages of your REM and deep sleep are optimized. And because your sleep is suddenly so efficient, this triggers enhanced cellular repair, allowing your body to heal tissue and recover from stress at a super accelerated rate. This, in turn, creates a beautifully restored deep circadian rhythmicity. That basically means your body knows exactly when to be brilliantly alert and exactly when to power down, just as nature intended. And tying it all together is stabilized neural signaling. The mental fog lifts, that low-grade anxiety drops, and that ultimate primal balance comes flooding right back to your nervous system. So, we've explored the training conflict of modern electromagnetic noise, the remarkable science of the 7.83 Hz Schumann resonance, and the incredible reality that your brain contains millions of magnetite crystals specifically designed to tune into it. But, understanding the science is really only half the battle. How do you actually put this to use? Well, the practical application is delightfully simple. You have to physically connect your body with the planet. This means getting outside, taking off your shoes, and literally walking barefoot on the grass, the dirt, or the sand. It means actively unplugging from your digital devices and spending quiet time in nature so those tiny internal antennae can pick up the signal without interference. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. Now that you know exactly how your body is wired to the Earth, how will you step out of the static and sync your biological clock today?